Good evening. We're going to start our concert tonight with the chamber ensemble. We're going to play Vivaldi's Concerto for Two Violins.
Our next group is the Simply Strings, and the first piece we'll be performing for you this evening is Autumn by Vivaldi. Autumn is one of the four seasons concerti that he wrote, and each of the different movements is supposed to represent one of the seasons. They're actually based on a number of poems that go along with the pieces. And as we were working on preparing this piece for you this evening, we were thinking that we really wanted to reflect the autumn spirit and the crunchiness of the leaves. So we've been preparing and working on how to have some short staccato bow strokes. So I hope you'll hear that as we present our music for you this evening. Is actually about the exact opposite. This is a theme from Brahms Symphony No. 1, and it's very long and flowing. This is a very popular song lately at weddings as well, so you might recognize it yourself. And our first piece is going to be the theme from the New World Symphony by Dvorak. Dvorak was a Czech composer, but there was a new Academy of Music that was being started in New York, and the woman who was founding it really wanted to have a wonderful composer in residence, somebody who would be a stellar teacher to help the reputation of her school. So she looked throughout the US and she didn't feel like there was anybody who met the qualifications, and she invited Dvorak to come over and teach at the conservatory in New York. He accepted and spent about 5 years here in the US. He didn't actually love it that much, but he did really enjoy when he visited a small town in Iowa, of all places, in the summertime. And it really reminded him of his hometown. There was a strong Czech community there. And so he felt very much at home in that place. So he wrote this piece that is supposed to reflect and really sound like America. And it's supposed to reflect wide open spaces. So you'll hear that oftentimes the orchestra is playing in unison, either in the chords that we're doing or at least in the rhythm, where often we change at the same time. And you'll hear the different sections of the orchestra featured to kind of show that wide open feel. This was composed in the late 1800s. So again, it's before America was quite as settled and as urbanized as we might have now. He also was very influenced for this piece by African American spirituals and Native American music as well. He did not copy any of the melodies and use them, but he studied them, and that influenced how he wrote and the melodies of this piece in particular. So please enjoy the New World Symphony. Our final piece is actually a much lighter piece. This is by an opera composer. So his music was supposed to tell a story. This composer is not one that's very well known. He actually started training to be a lawyer, but then he also studied conducting and studied composing as well. And he began to write opera music. Not a lot of his works survive or are very popular, but this one in particular was used in some of the Looney Tunes cartoons. So you might recognize it again. Bugs Bunny, Popeye, and Mickey Mouse cartoons have all used some of his themes. So enjoy the beautiful Galatea.
following song was Hungarian Dance Number 5 by Johannes Brahms. It's one of his most famous pieces. This dance is from a larger set of 21 lively dance tunes completed in 1869. Our next piece is Beethoven, the first movement of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, and it could just be the most memorable musical phrase of all time, the opening. Beethoven reportedly called his opening "Fate Knocking at the Door." During World War II, its suggestion of Morse code became the powerful symbol of victory. Beethoven struggled with composing the Fifth for nearly a decade. The Fifth was given its world premiere on December 28, 1808, in an unheated hall. With only a single rehearsal, the execution was a mess. At one point, things got so tangled that Beethoven had to stop and restart the orchestra, who were sitting there shivering in the cold. Well, thank goodness we have a warm hall, and we've had more than one rehearsal. So this is Beethoven's Fifth, the first movement. by Saint-Saëns. Saint-Saëns finished this dramatic work based on the biblical story of Samson and Delilah in 1876. This piece has remained in orchestral repertoire ever since. The Bacchanal precedes Samson's destruction of the Philistine temple. can understand why that's an audience favorite all over the world, and it's still being played. Our final piece for the evening, we'll have the Philharmonic come up and join us. Where did you disappear? There you are. It is called Amadeus from Symphony Number 25. It is taken from the movie Amadeus, which is about the life of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. It was composed when Mozart was only 17 years old. So the fact that it's Symphony Number 25, that means he wrote 24 more symphonies before he was 17. That's quite an accomplishment. It is written in the key of G minor, which has been considered the key through which Mozart best expressed sadness and tragedy. So we're going to share with you some Mozart tonight.